Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida L076508, Georgia 69178, Idaho MLO 208023796, Illinois 031.0058339, Missouri, North Carolina I210940, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.
All right, so welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom. And today we are going to be talking about my upcoming Homebuyer workshop. So the last time that I did a workshop was in 2022. I did actually do one in, I believe it was like June, and we did it in person. And then I was supposed to do one in August of 2022. I got sick with the cough, and I then just never got around or getting it rescheduled. So here we are, we're in 2024, and I haven't done a workshop since 2022. So we are going to do a workshop, and today we're going to be talking about that workshop. Who will it be good for? What will you get out of it? It is going to be a really great evening. I'm going to do it actually to make it better for everybody. I have tried Saturdays during the day. I have tried Saturday mornings. I have tried Sunday mornings. I have never done a weekday and in the evening. And I thought, you know, what better? Maybe it would be better if I did do it during the week. Everybody gets so busy on a Saturday or a Sunday. You're running your errands. You're taking your kids to, their different activities. You've got weddings and, events that you have to get to, or you've got trips that you've planned for out of town. And who really wants to stop and learn how to buy a house? So I thought, let's do this. Let's try a Wednesday and let's do it in the evening. Now, I didn't want to start it too late because this is a podcast. This is a show on YouTube, and people all across the country can tune in and jump on and learn all about how to buy a house. So we are going to start it at 5 p.m. Pacific time on March the 6th. So Wednesday, March the 6th. If you have been thinking about buying a home this year, next year, or even in 26, it is definitely something that is worth your time. You get to do it from the comfort of your own home. You get to watch me do it right on YouTube. You get to be interactive with me just like you can during the shows every Wednesday. You get to ask your questions right in the feed. I'm going to answer them for you. I will be in no rush to get anything done in any particular time. So we are truly going to take our time, and we're going to work through all of the things that you need in order to buy a home and for it to be successful. Now, why is it so important that we do this? Why do I do these home buyer workshops? Let me bring you guys all the way back. I've actually been doing them since 2015, and usually we do them, at least a couple a year. So 23 was kind of a weird year for us. 2020, obviously, we couldn't do one, didn't think about streaming it. So here we are, we're in 24, and we're going to make this a new habit of doing the workshop online so that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. You can make your dinner. You could have me streaming on your phone. You could be doing your laundry. You could be doing the kids' homework. You could have one earbud in and listening and following along. But why is it so important? So they do say that when you buy a home, it is one of the 3 most stressful things in life. It ranks right up there with divorce and death. So divorce, death, and purchasing a home are the 3 most stressful things that you will do in life. At least that's what the experts say. And so we want to try to bring some of that anxiety level down. We want to try to make things a little bit less complicated. We want to walk you through the process. We want you to understand what people are saying. Sometimes the words that are being used sound like alien. They do not sound, like normal words. You don't understand the lingo, which gets you very confused. You didn't understand what they were referring to when they were talking to you about escrows, but I've got to send money to an escrow company, but you're talking about escrows in my mortgage payment. We're going to discuss all of those things. We're going to get you up to date with all of the really important words that you need to know, which makes it easier for you to understand what is being said as you're going through the process. We're going to also talk about what kind of loans are available, how much money do you need down, what kind of credit score can get you into a home. So we're going to focus on a lot of those things that are very important for you to understand. Many times buyers don't understand, or somebody that wants to be a buyer doesn't understand that there's actually opportunity there. There is a loan program that will work for them and that we can get them into a home. Sometimes, believe it or not even sometimes, most of the time, it is easier to qualify for a mortgage than it is to buy an RV or a boat or, it just is. Even to get a personal loan, sometimes it is easier to get a mortgage. And so we want to make sure that we're talking all about what those opportunities are, what kind of loan programs there are, what the heck are you talking about when you say FHA or you say conventional. So we're going to take you through all of that, which is going to be very important for you to understand if now is the right time for you. We're going to talk a little bit of credit repair. So maybe right now isn't the right time. You're aware that your credit score won't fall within those guidelines, which we're going to get to. And so you need to do a little bit of credit repair. Well, we're going to hit on that topic of credit repair as well to help give you those tips and tricks that you need to get yourself moving forward in the right direction. And we're going to keep going. It's going to be an ongoing evening full of information, everything that you could possibly need or want to know about buying the home. And again, the goal is that we get you prepared, we get you ready, and when it is your time and you are ready to execute, it's just a little bit easier, a little bit less stressful with less anxiety, and you are prepared and ready to go. You get to strike when you're ready. So we are doing this home buyer workshop. Again, it is going to be on March the 6th. That is 2024. So a Wednesday evening, 5 p.m. Pacific time, and you can RSVP. We want you to do that because we want to get that YouTube link out to you when we get started. That way it comes straight to your text message. You get the link, you click on it, you join in. You didn't have to think about it. You don't need a Zoom link. You don't need a computer. We're just going to get you right on into that YouTube so that you can follow along. So how do you RSVP? Well, you're going to send me a text message. The text message will be RSVP. I don't care if it's uppercase. I don't care if it's lowercase. It works either way, but that's all you're going to text is RSVP. And you're going to text that to my phone number to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. If you have any issues whatsoever with that, use that same phone number. Call my office. Let me know you want to be part of it. You want to make sure that you get the link, or if you're not sure if you did it right, you want to make sure that you get the link. So no big deal. Just call my office. It's the same phone number. So once again, it's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. So I do want to remind everybody, this is interactive. Let me know that you're here so I can see that my beautiful mother-in-law jumps on and says, awesome. All your workshops have been so informative and fun. Happy to hear they are returning. Thank you. And you are very welcome. And thank you for being my number 2 favorite fan. My number 1 favorite fan is my dad, who also jumps on and says hello. Christopher Mejia gets on and says hello. So Christopher, so good to see you on here. I know that you have been thinking about possibly buying a property, if I'm putting 2 and 2 together, right? With the right person. And Josie jumps on and says, good afternoon, everyone. So Josie, thanks so much for joining in. And I do want to remind everybody listening to me on Saturday, you are listening to a repeat of what we do on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We do it live. It's on YouTube. You get to ask questions. You get to be interactive. You get to see me do this. And then we take the sound and we send it to radio for you guys to hear me on Saturday morning. So if you want to get interactive with me, you've got to hit up my Mortgage Mom Radio YouTube channel. So go to YouTube and make sure you subscribe to the channel and you click the notification bell so that you do get notified when I go live. That is the best way to know that I'm live, but it is every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a super quick 60-second break. And when we get back, I'm going to keep reading the information in the feed here that you guys are posting. And then I'm going to get back to this workshop and more information of what we'll be talking about on Wednesday, March the 6th at 5 p.m. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is Debbie Marcoux, the Mortgage Mom. I don't know if you've heard, but interest rates are starting to come down. We have finally crossed that threshold of where interest rates are not only below 7, but they're potentially below 6. It depends on you, your credit score, and the loan type that you are applying for. But we have got some rates right now that are in the 5s. Very exciting. If you've been thinking about purchasing a home or refinancing to get yourself out of debt, well, give us a call. Let's see if it's something that does make sense for you. You can reach us at 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. Or head on over to our website at mortgagemomradio.com. Okay, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom, and today we are talking about my upcoming home buyer workshop, which will be March the 6th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So if you do want to be there, you want to get involved, you want to learn, you want to understand, you want to know more about the process, you want to bring your anxiety level down by at least 10 or 15 notches when you go to buy your first home, well, this would be a great show for you to jump in and be part of. So how do you get the link to join for that day? Well, you need to text RSVP to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. I can see that Heidi jumped on. She says, hi all. And Helen jumps in and says, hello, I finally catch you live. Helen, thanks so much for joining today. And then Christopher asks a great question. And I do want to remind everybody, this is interactive, so keep them coming. I love that Christopher jumped in and asked a question. So he says, would it be a good idea to see how much I qualify for, even though I'm not necessarily ready to pull the trigger? And actually, that is one of the very first steps, because a lot of people aren't ready to pull the trigger because they don't know what they qualify for, and they just perpetually just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, thinking, believing truly in their heart, they believe that they're not ready, that they don't qualify, that their credit isn't good enough, that they don't have enough money for a down payment. Just 2 weeks ago, I did a show all about down payment assistance. And so there are lots of programs that are available. There are many for lower credit scores, many for, first-time buyers, many to help you with the cash you need to close. But most of the time, what people get hung up on is, I'm not ready because, and they don't realize that there might be a solution to the because, but also because they don't really know. So just like you're saying, is it good to find out what I qualify for, even though I'm not quite ready to pull the trigger? So if you don't know what you qualify for, then you don't have your eyes open. You're not starting to learn the market. You're not watching the listings come through like Redfin and Zillow, right? You are going to window shop for at least 2 to 3 months before you are really ready to get out there. And that is just the way that it typically works. And sometimes people window shop for years, right? But if you don't have an idea of what you're window shopping for, if it's even a possibility, then it makes it really, really difficult to want to try to go on to the next step. Do you want to see it in person? So yes, I absolutely 100% suggest that you find out what you qualify for. What will those monthly payments be? Is it something that's affordable to you? Is there anything that you need to do different today to make tomorrow happen? It's really, really important, and I highly suggest it. And the answer to your question is yes, it is absolutely worth your time. It is worth a phone call. Just because you call and you get a consult and you talk with us doesn't mean we need a full-blown application. We have to pull your credit report. You need to send me every document under the sun. We can have an adult conversation about, what do you do for a living? How are you paid? Are you salary? Are you hourly? What are your monthly debts? Do you have a car payment? Do you have student loans? Do you have credit cards? What is it that you're paying on a monthly basis? What do you think that your credit score is? Most people know what their credit scores are. Most credit cards today give you your credit score every time you log in to pay your bill. And they send you a notice that says your credit score went up by 4 points this month. Your credit score went down by 4 points this month. So a lot of times people have a really good idea of what their credit score is. And so all of that information is enough for us to have an adult conversation about, based on doing these numbers by hand, this is about what I would anticipate that you are going to qualify for. Now, it's obviously not enough for me to issue you a pre-approval letter or to tell you to go start shopping and walk in the streets and making offers with real estate agents, but it gives you an idea if you are in the ballpark and you're searching online and you're window shopping at the appropriate numbers and levels. So absolutely 100%, anybody who is like Christopher, who is thinking, I want to buy, I'm not quite ready to pull the trigger, every single one of you should be jumping on my workshop on March the 6th, because it does not ever hurt to have information, to have more knowledge, to have a better understanding of the process, how it works, what you need, what credit scores. It is really going to be a very great day. So again, I want you guys to all jump in. I want you to watch. I want you to be part of it. And anybody that is thinking about buying a home within 24, 25, or even 2026, this would be a very great day for you to get on and to start learning. So once again, to remind everybody, how do you get the link to join on March the 6th, 5 p.m. Pacific time? How do you get the link to join? How do you RSVP? Super simple. Text me, RSVP. I don't care if it's uppercase or lowercase. RSVP. Text me, 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. Okay, so Helen's got a question for me, and she says, Hi, Debbie. My fiance is buying his grandma's house and qualifies with income and credit, but has not rent history, so has no rent history. Is he a good candidate for an FHA loan? So your fiance is buying grandma's house. Okay, so FHA does not require that you have any kind of rental history. Sometimes they do. So everybody's got a little bit different situation. So for example, and this was a great question, by the way, I absolutely love it. But for example, if your fiance's credit score was really low, and the debt to income ratios were really pushing the numbers available, so we're getting on the high side, we may have to do what's called a manual underwrite. We may have to have some compensating factors for the underwriter to say, okay, we'll let this one go. In a situation like that, where we are pushing the envelope in every direction and we need those compensating factors and we have to do a manual underwrite, which means the computer system didn't give us that automated approval, then we may want to verify that there is some rental history that he can provide, or she can provide, showing us the consistency of being able to make monthly payments for housing. However, the majority of clients getting an FHA loan, I would say that 1 out of every probably 50 to 75 loans that I do that are FHA are not a manual underwrite. And in those situations, proving that you've made rent payments is not one of the guidelines. So in your situation, you said he has the income and has the credit. I highly doubt that that would be something that is necessary. And yes, an FHA loan would be great, depending on how much he's getting the property for, how much the property is worth, all of those things. We're going to take that all into factor. We're going to figure out, is FHA the right program? Could he be going conventional? Lots of things to discuss in that situation when you're buying the property from a family member, but FHA would be a great candidate, and no, rents are not a requirement for the majority of FHA loan programs. Okay, so Vera jumps on and says, Vern jumps on and says, is it better or worse to have multiple credit cards versus only one? All with zero balance and paid off monthly in regards to credit score and getting lowest possible interest rate. So Vern, that's actually a great question, and one that is pretty easy for me to answer. So you actually want to have between 4 and 5 different trade lines on your credit report. It is better to have those trade lines at zero balances. So I love that you mentioned that. You want those trade lines to have as low of a balance as possible, 0 being the very best. But you do want to have between 4 and 5 open trade lines. So based on your question, is it better to have one big card and that's it? You got one? Or is it better to have 4 or 5 smaller separate cards? I would say 4 or 5 smaller separate cards would actually be better, because you do want to have multiple trade lines reporting positively every month over and over again. So I hope that I answered that question for you, but keep them coming, you guys. I am absolutely loving this today. Please don't hesitate. Please put those questions into the feed. I want to get them answered for you. And I want every single one of you to join me for that Homebuyer workshop. We're going to take a super quick break. Helen does say thank you. So you are very welcome, Helen. Keep it coming. But we're going to take a super quick break. And when we get back, we're going to continue to talk about the things I'm going to cover that day, that evening, March the 6th, 5 p.m. You're going to all grab your cell phones right now and you're going to text RSVP to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. I want to see all of my first-time home buyers on with me on Wednesday, March the 5th. I want to see you guys all there. Every single first-time home buyer that is listening to me, has been listening to me for years and years, and they're ready to pull that trigger within the next 24 months or so. I want to see you guys there during that show. And also for somebody who's maybe thinking about selling their home and buying another, maybe you've been living in your home for 10 years, 15 years, and you haven't done this in a long time. This isn't something that you readily do. You're not flipping homes. You didn't just do it 2 years ago and you're going to buy another one. You're good. You're a great candidate to join us as well that day. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Get some more questions in that feed for me. We'll be right back. This is Debbie Marcoux, the Mortgage Mom. Well, super exciting news. We saw interest rates drop back in December, and we're seeing interest rates drop further again. So have you been thinking about refinancing, but you were afraid to get rid of that low interest rate that you had? Well, now is a great time for you to start exploring that option once again. Depending on those interest rates on those credit cards and other debts that you might want to pay off, and then consolidating that with your current interest rate on your first mortgage, you might find that you are in a better position with a new refinance with better cash flow monthly. So give us a call. It's 844-935-3634, or head on over to our website at mortgagemomradio.com. Okay, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom, and today we are talking about the Homebuyer workshop that I will be doing for you guys on March the 5th. It is March the 6th. March the 6th at 5 p.m. So I've hopefully I haven't been saying that wrong the entire show, but March the 6th at 5 p.m. we are going to be doing the next Homebuyer workshop, and that is going to be streaming live right here on YouTube. I will also stream it on Facebook, so if you like to watch on Facebook, that is absolutely fine as well. But things that we're going to be covering that day, we've already talked about. We're going to be talking about words that you guys need to know to make the lingo a little bit easier for you, get a little bit better understanding when somebody is talking to you about things. We're going to be talking about closing costs. That's very important. So what are closing costs? How much should you expect to need for closing costs? So closing costs are something that you do have to pay on top of your down payment. So we'll talk about what those are. What are they for? Why am I being charged them? How much should I be putting to the side or, estimating that I'm going to need for them? So we'll be talking about closing costs. We'll be talking about FHA, conventional, VA, USDA. So all the different big loan programs that are available to you. What do you need in order to qualify for those? We'll be talking about down payment assistance. So how does that work exactly so that you can understand, and what is it that you need to do to qualify for that down payment assistance? Is it something that you want to take advantage of if you happen to have a small nest egg that you have put to the side, you have saved up, and you have ready to go already? Is down payment assistance your best option? Keep your money in the bank or not? not. And that is actually a very variable answer. So we will definitely jump into that. We are going to talk about number one, or not number one, but getting pre-approved. So the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. So those are very important, but what do you need to do to get pre-approved? How long does that pre-approval stay good for once you've done it? How often does your credit report get pulled if you are getting pre-approved and you're out shopping for a house and you haven't been able to find one, and 30 days have gone by? Do we need to pull that credit report? The quick answer is no, but we're going to talk about how long is that credit report good for. That way if it's time for you to pull the trigger and do the application and get that credit report pulled and get started. We are going to talk about all kinds of things, you guys. We have so much stuff we're going to hit that day. We're going to talk about locking in your interest rate. We're going to talk about signing disclosures. So what are disclosures? Ordering your appraisal. What do those disclosures look like? They do definitely look like a big, humongous, huge legal contract. So we're going to talk about those disclosures. How does it work? How many times are you going to sign them? How many different disclosures are you going to receive? What's the most important disclosure that you need? So we're going to talk about all of that. Getting your final loan approval. So, now you've found the house, you've opened up escrow, you've sent your deposit, you've done your appraisal, you've done your physical inspection. Everything is moving forward like planned. Your loan is approved, and now you've got final approval. So we're going to talk about the loan approval, final loan approval, the differences between the upfront loan approval and then the final loan approval. Removing contingencies from the contract. So that's a huge question that people ask me all the time. Is it okay to remove my contingencies? And the answer to that is always, I can't tell you yes or no. That is your choice to remove them. However, this is what a contingency means. This is where we are in the process. So we'll be hitting contingencies. Very, very important. That's a huge word that you do need to know. So we'll talk about that also in our buzzwords. We're going to talk about signing your loan documents and then funding and closing. And if it doesn't go too long, because I open this up, everybody can ask as many questions as they want to throughout the entire thing. And I want to make sure that it's very conversational and that you're getting the information that you came looking for. So as long as it doesn't go too long and we've got the time, I then will jump into, how do you start getting ready for the pre-approval? How do you find the right real estate agent to work with you? So we'll jump into those things as well. But that's kind of a hit or miss as far as getting into the real estate side, because we want to make sure that what we're really hitting on, which is the hardest part of an entire transaction. Let's think about it. You're out looking at houses, kind of fun and exciting. You're stopping in the summertime and you're grabbing some ice cream along the way as you go house to house. You're grabbing some McDonald's, you're eating the car, stop to stop. But it's exciting. You're out, you're looking at properties, right? And the most overwhelming piece of it is, which one do I like the best? And then you are negotiating. So negotiating the contract can get a little bit frustrating for sure. And then after that part really comes into the loan, and you're not buying that house and you're not getting the keys to that house unless the loan goes through and gets done correctly. So the stress really starts the day that escrow opens. And so that is the most important piece that we want to touch on. We want to make sure that you're already comfortable and able to move forward and get started. But if we definitely have the time, we will jump into some of the real estate pieces as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I really do want all of you that are listening to me who do not own a house today, who would love to own a house today or tomorrow or the next year. I want you to be part of this. I want you to jump on. I want you to join us, get interactive, ask your questions. I want to educate you. I'm giving you guys my time, my energy, and my education, my information. I'm giving this all to you for nothing. It doesn't cost you anything but a couple of hours of your time to jump on while you cook dinner, while you fold laundry, while you do homework with the kids, while you eat your dinner. It doesn't cost you anything to do this but an earbud in your ear with your phone streaming next to you. So I want to make sure that everybody takes advantage. Make sure that you RSVP so that you get that link to join. Text the word, or I guess it's not even a word, the initials, right? RSVP to 844-935-3634. That's 844. We lend for you. WELEND and the number 4. Text RSVP to that number. And if for some reason you don't think it worked or there's something wrong, call us. It is the exact same phone number to reach my office. It is 844-935-3634. And if you do not want to wait for this home buyer workshop, but you would rather get a personal consult one-on-one and you want to get that pre-approval started, well, that is absolutely okay as well. We love that. We want to get you guys your consultation that you need, and we want to get that pre-approval started for you. So give us a call at the office. Go to my website. Go to mortgagemomradio.com. Book yourself an appointment. There's an appointment button right on the website, and get yourself that personal consult one-on-one. That's absolutely fine. But I would love to see you all there. I want you guys educated. I want you to learn. I want you to bring your stress level and your anxiety level, down at least by 2 or 3 notches. And I want you to enjoy your home buying experience rather than be absolutely frustrated and up to your ears irritated. So with that, I hope you guys all have a fabulous rest of your week. Go country. I want you guys to join me on Wednesdays on YouTube. Do it with me live, get interactive, and I hope that you all have a fabulous one. I will see you again next week right here, 1 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube.
Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida L076508, Georgia 69178, Idaho MLO 20802379926, Illinois 031.0058339, Missouri, North Carolina I210940, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's a mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.